Good. That's what we want.
Oh, that's a nice one. I don't think I've ever seen you wear that before.
Yeah, wear this all the time. Hello and welcome back to another edition of the MCR. My name is Mac. To my right and your left is TJ. Please like, share, and subscribe. Especially share. We love subscriptions, of course, because that helps us grow and reach more people. But sharing does that very quickly. The subscription thing is a process, but we do need that process to happen. So I want to talk today about crime in this country. And there's a bunch of reasons it's happening. One, I think because Democrats want chaos so that you will run to them for protection, which you will not get because they have no love for life, no love for you. If you think they're going to take care of you, you need to seek some mental health evaluation. They love to kill the unborn. They love to kill the elderly. If anybody's pushing grandma off a cliff, it's them. They always accuse you of what they're doing. If you don't believe it, it's part of their plan. Read Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, which is the Democrat or leftist playbook. So I'm going to talk about, I'm going to throw this on you. We're going to wing this one as well because we've been doing a little bit of that here recently. The Wawa stores, which I have to confess I have never heard of before.
Neither have I. Haven't heard of it. Haven't seen one.
Yeah. So, it's a chain of stores, and it's referred to as historic. So I guess it's an out east thing. They're going to close a boatload of their stores because of crime. They recently had somebody beat the tar out of one of their employees because they didn't cooperate with the robbery. So they say they're citing safety and security challenges. And perhaps those challenges stem from the fact that George Soros bought and paid for, put in place district attorneys, such as the one in Los Angeles, and in other places throughout the country, are letting people off. They don't want to prosecute people for crime. And we did a video a while back on how you're allowed to steal up to, $900 worth of stuff before they'll prosecute you?
Yeah.
And believe me, they're doing it. So in the San Francisco area, I know they closed a boatload of Walgreens because they just can't stay in business with people stealing $900 of merchandise. And you know what? If you knew you could get away with it, not that you'd steal, but I mean, someone is going to do it several times a day, I imagine, and then resell it. Hell, they may be reselling that stuff on eBay, for all I know.
Something not talked about much. Smidgen bit off topic, but in this train of thought here, in Detroit, there's been the complaint how the Detroit residents have to commute to the suburbs to shop at a reasonable store in reasonable safety for products. It's almost like all the major chains have just thrown in the towel with Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, in my daily commute, I do go past a grocery store, but it's a standalone. It's not one of the.
Oh, there are those.
It's not one of those that whether it be Kroger or whatever. Okay. And if they are in Detroit, they're at and I'm going to use 8 Mile as the example. It's like they'll be on 8 Mile, but they don't dare go deeper into Detroit.
For those who don't know and haven't watched the movie 8 Mile, 8 Mile is the dividing line, so to speak, the Mason-Dixon line, if you will, of Detroit and the suburbs,
northern suburbs.
And it's a world of difference in that 2 feet into the suburbs, because there was a case years ago where a guy was stealing meat left and right, and they let him do it a couple of times.
Oh, no, it was at a Kroger.
And it was at a Kroger, and he kept coming back for more. And the manager said enough to. And the irony in this is all of these guys weighed about 300 pounds
or better.
The alleged shoplifter and the 2 security guards were that and then some. So they decide to stop this guy. Well, they get in a wrestling match, the 3 of them, and the 2 big guys end up on the other big guy on the floor, the alleged perpetrator, and he suffocates or he dies in some manner. Well, let me tell you, had that happened on the Detroit side of that,
Of 8 Mile.
of 8 Mile, the lawsuit would have been hundreds of millions of dollars.
You know, and we're talking barely a football field distance here now.
But since it happened in Oakland County, Michigan, whole new jury, whole new prosecutor, no one was charged. The guy was blamed for his own death. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. I'm driving down the road and I'm listening about this story, and one of his friends said, "Well, we all loved him. He had the best barbecues ever." And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, with stolen meat.
When I heard the story in the news, my comment was, thank goodness this happened on the north side of 8 Mile.
I thought the same thing.
I just thought, if this had been on the south side of 8 Mile, all the security guards, the store, Kroger, it would have, we're talking milquetoast city here, you know? And we're off topic.
So, well, it goes back to this Wawa stores. This gentleman, Steve Francis, the Executive Associate Director of the Homeland Security Investigation, told Buy Safe America Coalition, many of the criminal rings orchestrating these thefts are also involved in serious criminal activity such as human trafficking. So, you know, these are the people that Democrats want to protect.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy, he doesn't have enough to eat. He's got to go out and steal $1,000, and it could be $1,000 worth of meat to feed his friends at their local barbecue. And I'm sure they're drinking their stolen Ripple and their stolen beer and yucking it up as to how suckers are the ones who pay for their groceries.
And, you know, these stores will have security and then handcuff the security guards.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
well, the attorney Jeffrey Feiger in this aforementioned case said guards shouldn't be pursuing anybody. So guess what? They stopped pursuing anybody. Well, a guy went out into a parking lot, a security officer went into a parking lot to get the license plate number, as Mr. Feiger said, this is all they should do, and the bastards ran him over and killed him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, well, I don't remember Jeffrey Feiger defending that guy.
Yeah,
or looking to get his family any money, because he's a piece of shit.
One final thought from me on this. Tyson Chicken, for this very reason, has pulled out of Chicago.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Smith & Wesson went out from the East Coast down to Tennessee.
Well, it's Smith & Wesson in large part because of the political hostilities. Tyson Food just got tired of the criminal element preying on their employees and said, "We're through with this."
Right.
You know, we're through. You know, the company in some regard is responsible to their employees, or have to answer to their employees. Their employers are saying, you know, why do we got to come here and work? We can't even get here safely to work.
Well, this person at the Wawa store, all they did was come and try to do their job. And you know, doing your job for a lot of people today is just showing up. And that's all you need to do. And they get the tar beat out of them by some scumbag.
It's just the way it's become in the.
So if you like crime, vote blue.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just keep your fingers crossed that you're not the victim of it. And just because you haven't been yet, doesn't mean you won't be someday. You could be at the wrong place at the wrong time. I know all kinds of people. My dad was a part-time bartender to make ends meet, and he had a friend, and the bar was robbed. This was the Marble Bar in Detroit, and this was many, many years ago. And they robbed the guy. He did everything they said. They just killed the guy just to kill the guy. And that's what you get when you vote Democrat. So with that, I'll wrap it up by saying, be safe. Watch your six, and don't tread on me.